Congratulations to the Michigan Panthers. I thought they played a good game. Started fast. We didn't. They jumped up early on us, and always felt like we were obviously playing a little bit from behind, and a lot of plays, credit to them. Some of them uncredit to us, and I thought at times we shot ourselves in the foot on all three phases. You're fighting there to get that momentum back. At some point in that football game, and when, we start off slow on offense, and we hit the play, at the end of the half, right, and then we go, right down and give up the touchdown. It's just you felt the momentum creeping back, and we just let it out of our grasp, and there's going to be a lot of plays when we watch it that we're going to be disappointed about. We have a short week this week, and so we got to get right back and ready to go. And we have no choice. You have no choice. So all you can do is get back to work. That's all I've ever done in situations like this. I've been on some really, really good teams that have really good records, and been on some teams that have set points throughout the season have struggled with their record. And bless you. And that's all you can do is get back to work. That's it. And because it's pro football, no one's going to feel sorry for you. No one's going to, look at us and say, "Oh, poor Memphis." We have to circle the wagons, man, and roll. And that's all you can do in pro football.
One of the things you haven't done well is really turn the ball over. So
Yeah.
What did you see on with the 4 turnovers today?
Yeah, I'm not trying to do coach speak. I do have to look and see what happened there, obviously we fumbled the ball early. I got to see if there was leakage in the protection, and I have to look at those, to be quite honest with you. I know there's the throw. Troy would like to have back on the slant. It was a little high and outside, but I have to go back and look at all those and see why the factors on why those happened.
Coach, in the back, after going down by double digits in the first half, team fought back in the second. Did you like what you saw?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I'll tell you, there's one thing that you never question about this team. We may not do things right all the time, but the care and the effort's there. And I want that care and that effort, because we do practice hard and we practice well. I want that to start translating, and we're closer. We're getting closer and closer and closer. And so, I think that was the most explosive plays you've seen us hit this year. You know what I mean? And so it's getting there. It's getting there, and it takes a lot of hard work. There's a lot of new faces on this team, and so it takes a lot of hard work, and we just got to keep grinding.
Looking at this kind of losing streak, have you diagnosed through-line problems, and how can those be addressed and fixed?
Yeah, we have. We just got to. I need to keep finding certain ways to find the ways to run the football better and call them, and don't. When we don't have success, it's hard, man, because you want to run the football and you want to stay balanced. At the same time, it's when you go a couple times in a row in 2nd and 12, it's like so, and it's not all on the O-line. There's a couple we could have pulled. There's a couple we could have cut up inside. There's a couple we could have. So it's not all one person. I don't like throwing shade on the O-line all the time. I think that's easy. That's the cheap narrative. Okay, that's really cheap and lazy narrative to throw everything on the offensive line. And I'm not saying you or anybody in here, but you hear that a lot in football. And I just think when you divulge into the details on why things are going a certain way, I think there's a lot of other things that you can pin things on the offensive line, including myself.
Coach, your assessment of Troy's play and what went right, what went wrong, and what went into the decision-making there on the start?
Well, first off, I don't want to divulge into injuries. Everyone knows what the report was, the injury report all week. Troy, I thought, had earned the right to play, and so we're gonna look at the tape, and we're gonna get together at some point and watch it together, and we'll assess that. I thought there were some plays that we may have left out there, and I thought there were some plays that he were awesome. That freaking cover 2 throw at the end of the half. There aren't a lot of dudes out there that can make that throw, and so, I thought, it's like anything. You as a quarterback, as a play caller, we're all kind of in this thing together. Like when you assess yourself, and I've been both. When you assess yourself after a game as a quarterback, you're like, man. When you assess yourself as a play caller and as a head coach after a game, you're like, man. There's just some things you wish you just could have done a little bit different.
If I could follow up, Troy, just your own assessment in terms of timing finding rhythm and, you know, you hit some nice things certainly, but also what else you need to maybe work on going forward?
Yeah, like Coach was saying, you know, there was a lot of plays. Well, personally, I feel like a lot of plays for myself that was left out there. You know, we did make a lot of good plays as well, but I feel like I could definitely play a lot better, hold myself accountable, you know, watching the film. We feel like we caught a little rhythm there in the second half, but like Coach was saying, definitely got to start fast and have to prolong that and stay consistent throughout the whole game.
Troy, do you think some of that slow start, you know, this will be your first start here in the UFL this year. You haven't started a game since the UFL championship last year. You feel like, you know, the first couple of quarters you're trying to get your feet back under you, getting the swing of things offensively?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's easy to just, you know, say that and try to blame, you know, the slow start on that. You know, like this is like Coach said, this is pro football, so I have to be ready and hold myself accountable. We had a good week of practice, so I just have to, at all times, especially playing quarterback at this level, you have to be ready, regardless of the situation. Just wish we could have got off to a better start there.
It's a great answer by him, but the answer is yes. Okay, there's sometimes when you come off when you haven't played in a while. Okay, so I'm gonna right. Okay, all right. So he gave a great answer right there. All right, but there's times, yes, that does happen. All right, it does. It's real life. It's real football, and I appreciate both these guys to the fullest. But as his head coach, I'm gonna say it does take you a little bit of time sometimes to get your feet back up underneath you. Yes.
Really, all three of you guys, I want to talk about that last play in the first half on the offensive drive, the deep ball. How good, Troy, how good was it to, I know both of you guys had turnovers each to on yourselves. How good was that pass to actually get that to click? And Coach, what went into that play call? I knew we had about 20 seconds left in the half, or was it just like we need that home run play right now?
Yeah. Well, honestly, I'm gonna keep it as simple as this because it really is. That's one of our base day one installation passes. Okay, I worked 5 years at the Oakland Raiders. Our 4 verts package is named after the Raiders. Okay, so if we call Oakland, okay, or Davis or Raider or Plunkett, those are our 4 verts packages because, as you guys know, Coach Davis loved the 4 vertical passing game. All right, so we honor their Coach Davis with that. It was literally one of those we called Raider. They have hinges on the outside. They convert versus cover 2, and Troy did a great job of working the 2-on-1 on the near safety.
Yeah, that's one of the main culture points that I learned once I got into this system. Just when it comes to 4 verts or any vertical scheme, cover 2, you know, you have to assess the corner and the safety, and it's tough on the safety when it's 2 guys running at you, especially towards the boundary. You have to pick one. You definitely want to honor the seam. So saw the corner just, you know, kind of shuffling, didn't really, you know, get his depth. And, you know, just worked the 2-on-1 scheme coach was talking about off the safety, and was able to drill Daywood in a nice hole right there.
To piggyback off what Troy said, yeah, they was in cover 2. I just knew my assignment during cover 2, the conversion. It's a mandatory outside release. Got outside release. I seen the corner kind of playing lazy. Just turned around and seen Troy dot me the ball, and I just made a football play. And it's so crazy because in pregame he kind of threw me that same pass in pregame, and I wasn't ready for it. And he was like, "Stay ready." And then into the half it happened. So that goes to show you, like, no matter the time, like, just stay ready. Like, it's gonna come to you.
Just a note on that too. That is the longest touchdown in the UFL so far this season. So
Nice.
Eli.
David, for you, the play where you took the big hit, after what you went through last year, how scary is that, and just how thankful are you that you were able to come back in the game?
Man, you know, my injury at Miami was very scary. And then the injury that hit today, it kind of put a little fear in me again. Because, you know, when I went down, like, I was kind of shaken up, couldn't breathe, and I was like, oh, man, it's been happening all over again. But I was able to recuperate myself, get my wind back, get up, and I was able to get back in the fight for the team. You know, I love this team. I love Coach Flip. He probably one of the best coaches I had throughout my football career. So I told myself I had to get back in this game to fight for my team.
And Coach, for you, how scary is that when you see anybody go down like in that situation?
It's beyond scary. But as a coach, guys, you know, you get close with these guys, man. Okay, you do, and if you care about people and you're in the coaching for the right reasons, you form relationships with these guys. You see them go through hard times. You see them fight injuries. You see them have ups. You see them have downs, right? So I tell you, you know, I admire these young men and everyone that plays this game for putting their bodies on the line week in and week out. And so it's heartbreaking when you see one of your guys on the field like that. And, you know, I was going berserk on the sidelines and, you know, and making sure that the right call was made. And, you know, obviously then my attention was right to him, keeping an eye on him the whole time. But, you know, these two guys that are sitting up here with me right now are tougher than tough. And so the fact that he came back to the game doesn't shock me at all.
Time for about 1 or 2 more. James, you had one?
Coach, defensively, you know, Michigan, especially running the football, very familiar with West Hills as a
Yeah.
team last year. I'm sure that was an emphasis coming into this one. What did you see defensively that just allowed them to have so much rushing success? 160 yards and 5 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah, I know. It looked like they were running a bunch of RPOs out there, you know, because you could tell they ran the one with the stick and the drag and on third down, and you know they did a good job. I think of spreading us out, you know. And Wes is a patient runner. He really is. I mean, he's not afraid to try to set things up and get 3 yards, and then the next one, same run, get 8 yards when he feels it out. I think Wes is he's a tremendous runner, and he's big. You know, he's a big guy, and so he's always falling forward. So you know, I saw that firsthand in a lot of games. The team I was coaching last year. So unfortunately it didn't surprise me.
Last one in the back.
Kind of going off of what we were talking about earlier with Dave, what kind of player is he? He seems like he could be an X factor going forward. Big game today.
Huge, and I think if you asked him, I'm not going to share what he shared with the team because I thought it was awesome. But I mean, he's made a lot of plays today. But I think you know, there's more to be had. And so you know, I was proud of obviously the way he played and came back from that injury today. And so I know he expects a lot of himself. And so I appreciate that out of all of our guys.
Sorry, Mr. Darian had one more.
Sure.
Coach, as we approach the second half of the season, what's the state of the team right now? Are we pressing the emergency button or are we pressing the panic button?
No. In pro football, you can never press the panic button ever. And you know, you know, I talk about to our team. I talk about mental toughness all the time. And in pro football, I define mental toughness to these guys as being able to be the same guy every single day, despite ups and downs. It's real easy to walk in bright-eyed and bushy-tailed when things are going good. Okay, when you've lost a certain amount in a row, how are you going to be walking into the building 2 days? Players have off tomorrow. So today's what, Sunday? So when you walk back into the building on Tuesday, how are you going to be? That's mentally tough, right? That's mentally tough. We have some mentally tough dudes on this team, and I know we'll get right back to work.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.